So again, you start now. For all my listeners who are actually on YouTube, Facebook, I'm gonna put it right there on the chat for you. You will see it. We say 8 laws of health: nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in divine God. I thought I was missing one. Okay, perfect. So let's go real quick to my good old favorite, alfalfa. We said that alfalfa is a food. We also said it's an alternative. It's a good source for the whole body. We did say that it has good source of CoQ10 in it, and it has a lot of nutrients for the body. It's a tonic. It helps with joints. It also helps with the stomach. Anybody you know that may have acid reflux or have acid in general, alfalfa is a good source to help neutralize that. So that's why we're really sharing that with you so that you can know there's natural health that they don't want you to know about. Alfalfa is also good for people who have arthritic discomfort. Anybody that has issues with bones, with joints, you definitely want to take a high level of alfalfa because it will help. It also stops excess sweating. So if you have people with hidradenitis, okay, it's important to really get them connected to that herb because it will make sure it makes a difference. It also helps deodorize the body. Now imagine this. You have a herb that has the ability to deodorize. Isn't it something that's so good when you can have a herb like that? Well, that's the main reason that we're actually sharing this so that you can know there's natural health that they don't want you to know about. And that's the reason why we actually sharing these type of things. Now, all you got to do when we doing this is share everything that needs to be shared on when we talk about natural health. When you do that, nothing beats it more than anything like that. Okay. And that's the reason why we're taking time to actually share that information. Natural health that they don't want you to know about. Uh, what I love about uh, technology is that sometimes you never know when technology is going to fail, right? So sometimes you can just have technology say, hey, I ain't working today. I'm not showing up today. All right, let's do some more. Now, remember, alfalfa also has the ability to deodorize. It deodorizes the body. So if you're the type of person when you go to the bathroom, or if you have a lot of foul odor, or if you have a teenager that's going to puberty that tend to have a lot of foul odor, you really want to put them on what? You really want to put them on alfalfa. It actually also will help them grow. Alfalfa has a good source of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll will help clean your blood, it'll help clean your gut, it'll help clean a lot of gunk in the trunk. So, if you know what I mean. So, if you're the type that eats all sorts of stuff, definitely want to do that. It also helps the pituitary gland. It's a very great nutrient for that. And that's why we take time to really share information that way. Now, anybody has question about alfalfa? Because I think it's something that's really good when you actually know that there's natural herbs that they don't want you to know about, things that really can make a huge difference. And that's why we like to really share these things. Now, if you are looking to transform your health on a high level, definitely let me know because this is what we do. We like to really create those type of things that will create a difference for you. And that's why we take our time to share information that way. So today we spoke only about alfalfa. Possibly in the days to come, we're gonna just speak more about it. And our goal is to put in. Let me show you that how much of a. This is how we work. Okay. So the way we're gonna boost this channel the quickest way possible, we're gonna do 10, 15 to 22-second spots where we share like little things about herbs, right? We're gonna do 10, 1 minute, and that's gonna be daily, okay, just to build a channel. And then of course we're gonna do 3 10 minutes. And then depending on the day, we might just do a show. So right now It's us starting from scratch, but we're using the principle that we know that's going to actually really get the channel to grow. So basically, anywhere between 23 to 30 posts that's going to happen on information that could be used. Okay. And then we're also putting them in the story, and we're also sharing it in our Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We sharing it everywhere. We're making sure we're reposting it. We want to that good old information go out, because think about it. My guy that called me yesterday at 7 in the morning, if he knew better, he would have taken his supplements. All my other folks who are dealing with their stuff, if they knew better, they would have taken their supplements. Now, I'm speaking about normal stuff here, right? Imagine if 1 second you knew what to do to prevent a certain disease. Remember, I talked about that tea for 7 days. If you're really interested, definitely send me a request and I'll send that to you. Okay. At this point, I don't care whether you want to follow this live or not. I just want to make sure that I'm doing my part to share that information. This is something that I've had so many people say, no, just keep doing it in Creole. They don't need to know about all that. If you know somebody that has issues with high blood pressure, we got herbs for that. Little stuff that you can do. People who are having issues with ED, in our other channel, we call it ay. We got herbs for that. So when we talk about the body management system, here's what I want you to really know about the body management system. I want to make sure that you can actually have access on that. This is something that most people do not know. So when I say body management system, let me help you out a little bit. For all my guys that are on, what they call it, on YouTube, Facebook, let me give it to you. Now, just so you know, anybody that actually wants to have access to the YouTube and the Facebook, it's all the same name, Health Max Ed. So whether you are on Instagram, YouTube, well, not the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it's going to say Health Max Ed. And of course, my original TikTok is Health Max Ed, but this one we made it a little different just so that you can have access to it, okay? And that's why we take time to share information that way. Now, when I first started doing TikTok, and that was a year ago in September, I started posting, right? So it was posting until we got to 100, and then we were able to do live. I didn't even know the parameters. I didn't know you need to have 100. So this show was supposed to happen yesterday, but I was so beat. You know, anytime you're hearing a lot of people who are having issues with disease, it could take a toll on you. That's why they call it dis-ease. So imagine when I first started over 33 years ago, I used to speak to 100 and plus people per day. I was gung-ho. I'm saying that, hey, I'm going to heal the world and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I realized that this could be consuming. And that's one of the reasons I'm sharing this with you, so that you get that, okay? So when we talk about the alfalfa, and there all will be times where we're just going to have you ask questions. But one thing that's important, do your best to do this. Connect. When we saying to connect, definitely connect, because that information we're giving you, when I started with the channel on the other show, I used to do it bilingual. And one time I did an English show, and I guess I said the wrong thing. You know what did? They shut down the channel, and they said that I was not going to be able to get on it until, listen to this, I was not going to be able to get on it until, let me see if I remember. I was supposed to be in TikTok jail for 22 days. And I appealed it. And I said, what the heck is wrong with you guys? Why would I have to do that? Because it really didn't make any sense to me that I would be penalized because I'm sharing information with people. It didn't make any sense to me until I realized the reason why they were doing all that nonsense. And the only reason they were doing all that nonsense is because that's what usually happened. All that nonsense usually happened because that's exactly what they do. So for me, the most I can do when I share information like that, I do my best to really give you information that's causing transformation. Let me see to it if I can invite some more people real quick. Okay, it says I can select 8. Okay, I did. And that's the reason why I like to really take a look at all that, is to know that you can create massive transformation, but that's only if that's what it's going to be looked at. And that's why I take time to do this. So we talked about the 8 laws of health, which is nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest. What else? Trust in divine God. And we also went and spoke about alfalfa. Now, for all my folks who are on YouTube or Facebook, the body management system is comprised of 5 things: alfalfa, cascara sagrada, ACS, beetroots, and then the 5th one is what? 3Bs. So I make sure I share these things with you so that you can know that we mean business when we're talking about these things. Because most of the time people don't know how serious we are when we're talking about natural health. I know you might like that 3Bs, Emmanuel. 3Bs is no joke. What I love about 3Bs, just for anybody that doesn't know, it has bee pollen, which is awesome. It helps with stress. It helps with energy. Bee propolis is a good antibiotic. And royal jelly, it's what the royals used to use. Remember, anything that they call golden or royal is because they were made for the emperors. So if you consider yourself or your body the temple of the Holy Spirit, definitely you want to take care of it at the high level. Now, there's something that I haven't done any pitch, okay, to at any point in time, because I want you to understand the main driver of this stuff is for us to get you information. But the other piece of it that's as important is the fact that imagine yourself having access to some herbs that can make a difference in your life. Would you like to have access to that? If so, very simple. You could follow us, okay? Send us some link. I'll give you the 7-day tea for free. You'll be surprised. I've had people who were sent, listen to this. I've had people who were sent to be on hospice, couldn't move. These people are moving. I called the doctor because it's his sister. I called him today and I said, Doc, how's your sister? Because a lot of times people think that the interaction that we have in natural medicine is a simple thing. It's like for somebody like us, listen to this. The other channel we have went to 26,000. I just saw it, 26,900 in less than a year. Now, for you, it may not be much. It's not much for me, but one thing I'll say to you, it's enough where I had to stop what I was doing at the office because I had to create myself newly. And even when the staff would have spoken to somebody, they kept on saying, nah, I just want to speak to Doc. I'm like, okay, we got it. So that's why we create a system that if I can speak to 33 people per day or more, then that would be a good situation. And that's why the live that we used to do that used to be hours, we had to cut down on it because we needed to prepare a bunch of soldiers. Now we have people in Missouri, people in New York, people in New Jersey, in Boston, in Atlanta, more precisely in the Georgia area, like South Georgia. We have people all around who are ready to take this mission. We also have people in Texas, Houston, Dallas. We have people overseas, Turks and Caicos Island, Haiti, people who are actually receiving products, and they're doing things like that. So Canada, let's not even talk about Canada. Most of the people, what they do, they have the products be shipping the border for themselves because of that whole tariff stuff. So that's why I want to say, if there's anything that I want, Dominican Republic as well. Thank you for reminding me, maybe. So we have people in many different places. California. I know my California people is gonna love this. That I'm doing the English show around this time, guys. Again, I would rather you be in bed, but I've caught a lot of you in other people's lives at night. So that's why I said, you know what? Let's actually do it at night. Let's see how it feels. I don't promise you it's gonna be daily like the Creole show, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, we're gonna do our best. Now, let me take 5 or 10 minutes to receive some questions. Hopefully, I can answer them because they might be very personal enough where I got to make sure I be careful on how I answer them. So, do we have anybody that may have some question for me? All right. We spoke about alfalfa and we told you how alfalfa is a good herb. And that's why in Arabic language they call it the father of all herbs. Okay. And I want to make sure that we're connecting with that and that a bunch of you guys have access to good old herbs. Okay. All right. Any question? Going once, going twice. Remember, alfalfa helps people who usually have acid reflux. Okay. It helps maintain, people use it for bodybuilding. Yes, we also have Canada in the house. Enzymes. And that's pretty much the reason why we actually do this. Okay, guys? So I'm hoping that I will end by 12:12 since we started, well, we intended to start at 11:11, but we had to do a security check because they didn't think I was old enough to do the live. And I'm so glad I was able to do this now, just like we do in the in the Creole show. We're gonna do it also in the English show. Is that we start with prayer, we end with prayer. And if anybody got anything to say about that, well, bye, guy. Uh, there's really nothing you can say, or I mean, you can say. I don't have to listen. Um, so I'm glad I was able to really talk about all this. And one thing that you will see as soon as we're done with the show, we're gonna put all the little videos in the background. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and end the show right now since there's really no question. Let's go ahead and bow our heads. Eternal God, glory be to thy precious name. It is so awesome that our first show happened on literally 11/19, one of the powerful dates ever. And we want to give you all the glory that we've had over 500 people that went through this live. For us, that's a success. We already have one person that actually decided to follow. And we know that we're going to keep giving these folks information that's causing transformation for this generation and the generation to come. So we ask you that you may support all these folks that usually have issues with insomnia, give them the ability to sleep safe and sound, and so that they can be energized tomorrow for work. We pray this in the mighty name of Yeshua. Amen. All right, guys, 12:12. It's about my time. Thank you very much. And sorry, my folks on Facebook, YouTube. I was so gung ho of doing the show right here on TikTok. I forgot to bring you guys in on time. Okay, I won't make that mistake again. All right, you stay blessed. Bye, guy.